Pricing your art for your first show or festival can feel like a total guessing game. Price it too high? Crickets. Price it too low and you're just basically giving it away. But don't worry, by the end of this video, you're gonna have a foolproof formula to price your art confidently and strategically so you can actually make sales and start building your career. I'm Tim Packer. I've had a very successful career as an artist, but I started out exactly where you are. Nervous, unsure, and just hoping someone would buy anything. And every week I post a new video helping emerging artists turn their passion into their profession. So if that's you, hit subscribe, like this video, and click on the bell so you don't miss anything. And if you're serious about learning the business of being an artist, you can click on the link in the description to get 5 free chapters in my new book that gives you a step-by-step guide to earn a livable income from your art. Okay, let's talk about the formula. But first, let's talk about a mind shift that you need to make. Now, at your first show, your time just isn't as much as you think. I know that's hard to hear, but buyers don't care how many hours you put in. They care about value. And value is set by the market, not by your stopwatch. So formulas like X dollars per square inch or Y dollars per hour, that might work for seasoned pros, but you're not a seasoned pro. If this is your first show, that's kind of like expecting Little League ball players to make the same amount of money as Major League professional ball players. So you're still proving yourself. It doesn't mean you won't get there, but you need to walk before you run. So how do you figure out what your art is actually worth to buyers? Well, first, you need to research your market. If possible, attend the show you're planning on showing at a year in advance. And I recommend going on the last day of the show as well. Why? That's when you'll see what actually sold. Look for the sold price tags still on display and focus on artists whose work is comparable to yours in style, quality, and where they are in their career. And you need to find artists who fit this bill with a lot of sales. Now, based on these artists' sales and the size of pieces, calculate what's the average square inch that artists with work similar to yours at that early stage in their career are actually making sales at. That gives us our benchmark market value for that audience. And then when you do your show, you need to adjust for reality. You don't even have a following yet, you haven't sold any work, so take that market price and reduce it by 20%. That's gonna be your starting point for all of your pieces. But here's the catch. How accurate were you in judging these artists' work next to yours? Maybe your work is not quite as desirable as theirs, or maybe it's actually a little more desirable than theirs. So we need to prepare for that. So you need to prepare 3 sets of price cards. You need to prepare the one you're gonna start with, which is 20% below what we established as the market price. You're gonna do another set of price cards 20% below that, and then you're gonna do a 3rd set of price cards at the original market prices. So you're gonna have 3 different sets of prices for your work. And then we're gonna test and adapt at the show. So start with the price cards that are 20% below what we judge market value to be. And if your work sells steadily, congrats, you've nailed it. You've nailed your pricing. But if nothing moves from your booth and other artists are selling, then you've guessed a little high. So swap those out with the price cards that are additional 20% lower. And on the flip side, if your booth is mobbed and you're selling too fast, then go around and replace the price cards with the ones at the original market price. Now, depending on the festival that you're actually attending, you might have to make these changes fairly early, or you might have a few days. So if it's like a one-day festival, I'd say if you haven't sold anything by noon, it's time to go around and put out the lower prices. If it's a 2 or 3 day festival, I'd give it most of the first day. But if you're still not selling anything, then it's time to swap out for the lower price cards. And as far as going higher, anytime you feel mobbed and you're afraid that, oh my God, I'm gonna sell out before this festival's over, that's time to go around and put up the higher price cards. But you need to remember one thing. Pricing is kind of venue and market specific. The crowd that's attending your local art festival is going to be very different than a crowd that's attending an art fair in the Hamptons, and what they expect to pay for work is going to be very different. So when you're doing your research, if you can't go to the exact show that you're going to be showing at, try to find one that's a similar size, with a similar amount of prestige, with a similar audience. And remember, the goal of your first show isn't to get rich. It's to sell. Get feedback and learn where your prices should be right now. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and click on the bell. And if you're really serious about making a living as an artist, don't forget to click on the link in the description. Get the 5 free chapters from my book. It's packed with everything you need to start earning real income from your art.